Yo, what up, y'all? This is Greg Owens, and you're now tuning into the Greg Owens podcast. I'm recording this off my phone, so you probably won't hear any music or introduction music because today's it's a special episode. I want to dedicate this episode to my guy, Tremaine Russell, aka Trigga Trey Cash. He unfortunately passed away on MLK Day. And due to unfortunate events. So I want to dedicate this episode to him, and I want to talk about the impact he's had on my life as I come up, especially when it comes to music. So, and many of you have not followed me, many of you have not known me. Know there's always been events or people that have impacted me along the way. It's just like everybody else's life. You know, we all have people and people and places that impact us, you know, throughout our journey. So Trey was one of those people, and you know, especially like throughout my teenage years, we both lived in the same neighborhood. We was both into music. I think I met Trey when I was like around 11 or 12 years old. He's just a funny, silly dude. Just overall, you know, good energy. You know what I'm saying? I knew he cared about his family. I knew he cared about his friends and everything. But again, one of the things that connected us was music. You know, I feel like a lot of my people that I've called friends or brothers, music has always been the connection. You know. Again, we are complete opposites when it comes to the type of music that we make, but all in all, that's what connected with us. I heard Trey because I used to record. I've been recording music since I was 13 years old. So I recorded my own music. So at my dad's house, I would just be in my studio or in the studio, just like making music, you know, making beats, recording my own music. And so I know he heard that. I did that, and so one day he just came over to the house and he started rapping. I was like, yo, let's just record some music, you know what I'm saying? So I helped. So throughout our teenage years, I would say starting like around 15 years old to like 17, like he would come to my house all the time and just want to record, just want to make music. So I used to help him a lot with his music. He was featured on my stuff, so it was cool. Like we made a whole bunch of mixtapes and everything like that, and so it was really cool. And also his family, shout out to the Russells, shout out to DJ, shout out to Tamara, shout out to the mom. My condolences to the family during this tough time. I know it's probably not gonna get easier, but again, you know, Trey's my brother, man. Like life grew us apart since then, but again, that's always been my brother. I was always rooting for him. But anyway, I want to give a big shout out to Russ Dog, DJ Russ Dog. Rest in peace. That was his stepdad. And around 13 years old, I started making beats, and then I had like a CD full of beats, and I guess Trey's dad found out that I made beats, and so he checked my beats out, and he liked it so much that he bought it. So I want to shout out to DJ Russ Dog for being the first person ever to buy beats from me. I sold it for like $10, and later found out I could have sold more, so sold it for more. But that's just me being young and not knowing anything. And even Russ Dog kind of just showed me the game, like, hey, you know, this is how much you should have sold the beat packs, so the beat CDs, I guess you would say. But again, like I thank Russ Dog for that. Also, you know, he had his own record label at the time, Two Fat Bros Entertainment. And so I knew about like different record labels like Bad Boy, Def Jam, like those things. But like to have for somebody that lived in the city to have like their own record label, that was an inspiration. So that gave me the opportunity to just have my own little record label. So it was like TKO Productions. Then it was Next Generation Entertainment. Then it was Young Nation Entertainment at the time. So this was like around 07 to like 2011, like during those times. Like I had artists on there too, and Trey was one of them. So shout out to Russ Dog. And also we shared the same studio. as well. Like our first ever time recording at a major studio or big studio. Trey was with me, and also shout out to Zay too. We recorded a song called "My City," like we was, for the city of Columbus, and so I remember shout out to City News. We showed City the song. He was like, "It's good, but it's still still low quality. Y'all got to go to the actual studio and re-record it so it's quality." So I remember hustling the money and everything just to try to get some studio time. And so my dad took us, me, Trey, Zay, and also shout out to Louis D. He was rapping with us at the time. And so we went to the studio and we recorded the song. I didn't really like the mix, so we didn't really use it. So I didn't really like the mix on it, but it was cool to have to actually go to an actual studio and record music. That was my first introduction. This is probably like around 2009. So shout out to Trey for giving me some of my first experiences as far as studio, and also shout out to his dad for purchasing my beat. So I think around like later on 2010, 2011, I think life grew us apart. He was doing his, he went his way, I went my way, but it was never like a falling out, like a bad falling out. It was just kind of like a how do you would say it? It was kind of, things started to fade out. Our relationship started to fade out. You know what I'm saying? Again, he was living his life. I began to live my life, going to college, and everything like that. And so throughout that time into now, again, just from afar, I'm glad that he was still able to be artistic and share his music, and have his artistic expression share his artistic expression through music. And I'm glad he was able to still rap and everything like that. And so, again, it's unfortunate that things had happened, how he died and everything. I just want to pray for his family. I'm praying for especially his two daughters. Again, that was my brother, and I went to the funeral this past Friday. So this what is today? Today is February 2nd. And so his funeral was January 31st. So it was good to see everybody. I know it's an emotional time, but it was good to see everybody in his family and some people that I haven't seen in a while that truly love Trey. And Trey was truly loved by his family and friends. So again, I wanted to dedicate this short episode to Trigga Trey Cash. Again, he's because of the impact that he's made in my lifetime. Again, you'll be missed. We always used to talk about how we wanted to put Columbus on the map. We're going to put Columbus on the map. So I just want to tell the Trey that the dream still lives on, and that I'm going to do whatever it takes to keep on putting Columbus on the map. So again, I thank you, God. I thank you, Trey. I thank God for your place in my life at that particular point. And man, long live Trigga Trey Cash, Columbus legend, Northside legend. And I love you, bro. And we're gonna continue to live on and continue to honor your legacy, bro. Peace.